You've probably heard a lot about wetlands, but have you ever heard about peatlands? Peatlands are formed over thousands of years by the accumulation of partially decomposed plant material, creating a thick, spongy layer of soil that's incredibly rich in carbon. In this video, we'll explore why Canada's peatlands are so important.
Muskeg, also known as peatlands. These mossy wetlands have often been seen as wastelands, but they're actually bursting with life. They play an important role in our natural world, and they could also be one of our most important allies in the fight against climate change.
Canada is home to an astonishing 25% of the world's peatlands. That's right, a quarter of all peatlands on Earth are found right here in our own backyard. These vast ecosystems cover approximately 1.1 million square kilometers, an area larger than the entire province of Ontario.
To put it simply, these are layers of decaying matter. Plants, animals that have been decomposing for centuries. Peatlands are acidic. They don't have a lot of nutrients or oxygen. This means that they decompose slowly while new layers of moss form on top, but they're still home to animals, insects, and plants.
Here's peat here, look. There it is. Very black, organic matter. And it only grows really, really slowly, about 1 millimetre a year. So if you're looking at a metre of peat, that's like 1,000 years worth of growth. So it's super, super slow.
This incredible abundance of peatlands gives Canada an amazing opportunity to be a global leader in peatland conservation and research. Peatlands are found in every province and territory, with the largest concentrations in the boreal and subarctic regions of the country.
Public perception of bogs is that they're just wet, muddy, horrible places, like from films, people getting lost on bogs in the fog and the potential of just being stuck in one. And they're not like that at all. They can be really beautiful with all their different coloured mosses and different creatures that live on them. And they've got so many superpowers, if you like. They're just lovely places. They're kind of like the underdog of the habitat world.
And peatlands are not just important for their size, they also play a crucial role in combating climate change. Canada's peatlands store a staggering 147 billion tons of carbon. That's equivalent to the carbon emissions from 27 million cars over an entire century.
Estimated 30% of the world's total sequestered carbon is housed in the layers of peat bogs. About 1/4 of this is stored in Canada's northern peatlands and forest soils. 1 square meter of peatland from northern Canada has about 5 times the amount of carbon as 1 square meter of tropical rainforest in the Amazon.
And by locking away this carbon in their soil, peatlands help regulate the Earth's climate and mitigate the effects of greenhouse gases. In fact, peatlands store more carbon per hectare than any other terrestrial ecosystem, including forests. Protecting and restoring peatlands is a critical strategy for meeting Canada's and the global climate change targets. But before we continue, I wanted to briefly discuss our paid partner for today's video, BetterHelp. I know firsthand how difficult it can be to operate in your day-to-day life when you don't feel your best. Working as an environmental scientist and researcher, I've consistently experienced eco-anxiety, imposter syndrome, and self-doubt. The tools and confidence I've gained from therapy have empowered me to create videos like these and connect with all of you. The majority of BetterHelp members seek support for anxiety, and 69% of members report improved anxiety symptoms after 6 weeks of therapy on BetterHelp. It's easy to start. Just fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist as soon as possible. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit. They carefully make sure therapists on the platform are well qualified and their customer support team is there to help you if you have any questions. Let BetterHelp help you rule your anxiety so it doesn't rule you. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/David Bysouth and get 10% off your first month of therapy.
All wetlands have been sort of underdogs for a long time. And you know, I think there's just a perception of this being sort of wasteland. It is changing, I think, a little bit. You know, there's a lot of good wildlife viewing opportunities, owls and raptors, and a lot of interesting plants, fun to walk around in.
And right here in Ontario is the second largest peatland complex in the world, known as the Hudson Bay Lowlands. This vast expanse of wetlands covers an area of 325,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of Germany.
This ancient ecosystem absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and traps it deep in the soil below. It's the world's second largest intact peatland, storing an estimated 35 billion tons of carbon. But it's at risk of losing that status and becoming a massive new source of greenhouse gases.
The Hudson Bay Lowlands are a critical habitat for countless species of plants and animals, including threatened species like woodland caribou, polar bears, and the yellow rail. This region is also a significant carbon sink, storing an estimated 35 billion tons of carbon in the peatlands.
It's a tapestry of peatlands woven together by streams, channels that all flow into some of the last undammed rivers in North America. It is a really beautiful place.
The vast wetlands stretch from Manitoba across northern Ontario and into Quebec.
And in northern Ontario, the Ring of Fire is a proposed mining development in the Hudson Bay Lowlands that has the potential to threaten the vast amount of carbon stored in this region and many ecosystem services that these peatlands provide and the Indigenous communities of the area rely on. To learn more about the Ring of Fire, check the link below. So despite their importance, peatlands face numerous threats from human activities and climate change. Agriculture, mining, and peat extraction for horticulture purposes have led to the destruction of many peatlands across Canada. Climate change poses additional risks, as rising temperatures, increased fire frequency, and thawing permafrost can all disrupt the delicate balance of these ecosystems. When peatlands are drained or disturbed, they release their stored carbon back into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. Protecting and restoring peatlands is essential for mitigating the ongoing impacts of climate change. And aside from just carbon, peatlands provide essential ecosystem services that benefit both people and the planet. They act as natural water filters, purifying the water that flows through them and providing clean drinking water for communities.
People have the idea that peatlands, because they're wet, that they're causing flooding. But actually they're doing the exact opposite. They're helping to capture and store and filter that water and hold it back. So you'll always have water in the bog, even during a drought.
These ecosystems support food security for many Indigenous peoples who rely on them for traditional hunting, fishing, and gathering practices. And peatlands are also home to a wide variety of plant and animal species, many of which are found nowhere else on Earth. Also, peatlands hold immense cultural value, serving as sacred sites and places of spiritual significance for Indigenous communities across Canada. And one of the most interesting aspects of peatlands is that they can actually serve as time machines, preserving records of past environmental conditions. As plant material accumulates in the peatlands over thousands of years, it creates a layered archive of pollen, seeds, and other organic remains. And by studying these layers, scientists can reconstruct past climates, vegetation patterns, and even human activities. Peatlands have provided insights into ancient climate events, such as the medieval warm period and the Little Ice Age, as well as the impacts of human settlement and land use. This information is invaluable for understanding long-term environmental change and predicting future climate trends. So Canada's peatlands are a true national treasure, offering countless benefits to our environment, our communities, and our planet. From storing vast amounts of carbon to preserving records of our past, these incredible ecosystems play a vital role in shaping our world. By learning more about Canada's peatlands and supporting efforts to protect and restore them, we can ensure that these unique and valuable landscapes continue to thrive for generations to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
We think about what we need from peatlands, but what do they need from us? I think first, a greater acknowledgement of their value as intact natural ecosystems, a greater appreciation of their biodiversity is important. Above and beyond valuing them for their ecosystem function, valuing them for these unique plant communities, and just how beautiful they are is important.